All right, welcome to the Kuttin Loose Podcast, man. We about to get it today. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Actually, this is our first entrepreneur, and he's a real entrepreneur. He's the real deal, man. So I'm excited because we usually just, since we started, we only been interviewing comedians and, broke comedians, rich comedians, and
artists.
Yeah, artists and things like that. And I'm sick of it, So that's why I said, man, we need to step outside, and we found this guy, man. Let me answer my brother right here first before we get started. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Jeffrey? It's good to be here at the Kuttin Loose Podcast. By the way, we do love our comedians and artist friends, so shout out to y'all too.
Yeah, we love it.
It's nice to be switching up the pace a little bit, talking to an entrepreneur, a real life entrepreneur.
Oh yeah,
and
real
get
deal.
to learn from him for sure. So if you want to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit. Yeah.
All right, so it's so good to be on the podcast today.
Yes.
I'm meeting this great gentleman, and you guys' podcast about to blow up. I
yeah.
I feel it.
Sir,
I
yes, sir.
feel it's time, So I'm Uyi Abraham. So I was born in Nigeria. So I came to America a few years ago with just $100 and a suitcase of clothes in search of the American dream. When I came here, I had so much financial challenges, and things were so bad. So I left my dream to become a doctor, and I went to get a 9-to-5. So after years of struggle, I came into digital entrepreneurship, and that's where I really started making couple of millions of dollars a year, So we're gonna get
just a little bit.
He threw a couple in there, like it's some seasoning.
You see this? A little sprinkle, a couple of $1 million. We definitely gonna dive into it a little bit more, man. But before we get started, I want to shout out to our sponsor. We have True Products. The True Product. Go to trueproduct.com and get your purchase, man. You can get 10% off if you use promo code Kuttin Loose 1. Again, the promo code Kuttin Loose 1. Let's get into it, sir. So how do you say your name again? Pronounce it.
Is Uyi.
Uyi.
Yeah, exactly. Uyi, like Uyi.
I could do the last name. Abraham.
Yeah, Abraham. Yeah, that's the Bible.
Yeah.
But it's Uyi.
What?
Uyi, 2 syllables.
What's the meaning of Uyi?
So Uyi, I'm from the Benin tribe in Nigeria. So Uyi means to have honor and favor with God. So yeah, it's kind of
I love that.
Oh, come on now.
I love that.
So
see, that's the thing about, not to cut you off, Jeffrey, but a lot of times, I'm African too. I'm from Ethiopia originally.
You can tell. You can tell.
I did all of them.
Come on now.
I did my brother too, bro. But it's still, it's like really home,
Oh.
But your grandparents, great-great-grandparents came from over there.
Okay.
His parents, they still kind of back there a little bit. His grandparents, you know what I'm saying?
I know.
Or you also like 4 or 5 generations back. So that's what I'm saying.
I got you. You could tell it's crazy though. Like you knew right away. I said I'm Ethiopian. He said, "Yep, I know."
We could definitely tell. That one. I knew when I first met him. That's why I want to know, how did you know?
Right. The reason I bring it up is because a lot of African names, they have some kind of meaning.
Yeah.
So it's good to know that yours means favor with God, essentially, like blessed, like you're
blessed. Yeah,
So
well, just in Africa, you don't just give a child a name like a stone or a bush or carpet or camelite.
Okay.
It's always like prophetic.
Yeah.
Parents usually look at maybe the situation surrounding the birth of the child or what they perceive is going to happen with the child.
Right.
So they feel like this is a child of favor, then they could name that child Favor. If they feel like this child brought me peace. Joy brought me joy. Yeah, so it's not like just like, oh, I'm just going to go on the internet and get a name for a child like it's common in America.
But what if the child brung him hell? What are they?
They usually name that. Just like do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's some names that, that child, there was some situations going on when that child was born that they named that child something bad, like this child will not kill me, for example. This child will bring me joy, or this will leave. Like there's a word called Idemudir, which is from my tribe. It means I survived. So usually when a parent have like couple of stillbirth, then they found out the third child that lived. So this child will not die. That means the Demudia or something like that.
It's like the one who lived.
The one who lived, the one who will survive, So it's kind of prophetic.
No, I love that.
Stuff in Africa, yeah.
I love that. Yeah, even my name, as I was, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, and I was going to say, next time, maybe to the viewers, when you have a child, don't go on the internet and try and figure out the most popular names in America. Just pray and say, God, what's the prophetic destiny of this child? And name that child according. I think it does have some benefits.
Yeah, that's a pro tip right there. Brought to you by Kuttin Loose Podcast.
I like that. But our producer name is Christian, right?
Yeah.
But he's like a demo. So I think they didn't pray and ask God with the name.
Yeah, the name's probably gonna get him back on track.
It is. We love you, Christian.
We love you, Christian. Just he crazy, man. Don't follow me home, brother.
That's insane.
It's all good.
So talk to us. Okay, so you have this background as a Nigerian man. So what was it like those first few months? I'm sure you've been asked this question a lot, but was there a level of culture shock for you, or you kind of fitting into the culture right away? What was that experience like?
Wow, a lot of culture shock. Because coming from Nigeria, we have so much poverty, right? I remember walking miles to school just to learn. One of the reasons why I wanted to become a medical doctor was because I felt like that was the only way to make a decent living, by being a medical doctor. Growing up, I never, ever remembered eating a whole chicken thigh to myself, right? Because my grandma was raising about 12 to 16 kids at every particular time, and there was no money. So I never, ever remembered eating a boiled egg to myself, except Christmas or maybe my birthday, or when I pretend I'm sick.
Right.
Can you imagine I have to pretend I'm sick just to eat a full egg to myself? So usually the egg is split into 4 places, and you get a part of it.
Little piece.
Little piece, chicken feet, a little piece, chicken wings, a little piece. You never eat a full chicken wing to yourself because there's just not
enough.
There's not enough.
I can relate.
Then coming to America and seeing food, people just eating, for getting fat. I'm like, wow, in Nigeria, everybody was skinny when I was growing up. There was no food, And there's a lot of culture shock. I remember going to KFC. That was the very first place I was taken to eat. And I saw people eating chicken. They eat a little bit. They eat a little bit. I was like, you guys are wasting food. Because in Nigeria, when we eat chicken, we eat the bones.
Nothing is wasted, yeah.
Nothing is wasted.
Yeah.
We eat the bones. Everything is gone on the plate. So that was part of my culture shock. When I go out to eat, people be looking at me funny. I'm like, why are you looking at me funny? Because I ate the chicken, I ate all the bones too.
Yeah,
never leave nothing on the plate. Because if you do, somebody is going to eat the bones too.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of culture shock. And when I started getting blessed financially, I used to feel very guilty too. Because I'm like, wow, I'd come and have something to eat or wear, knowing that my kinfolk back home,
they don't have it.
They don't have,
And that's the thing too. The people here and in developed countries, they don't understand the level of poverty. Because there's poverty in first world poverty, and then there's third world poverty, completely different. Here, the poor people are obese.
Exactly.
Back home, it's if there's no food, you're going to starve.
You're going to starve.
Here, if there's no food, guess what? You might try to hit up a drive-thru, get a cheeseburger for $1.
For $1.
Because the worst food is the cheapest.
It's the cheapest,
Yeah, that's true.
And in America, too, I tell people, too, America is the most. It's the greatest country in the world. I know that because I've been to over 60 countries,
Wow.
It's not the best.
Hold on. You just dropped 60 countries on us. You got it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the next question.
Yeah.
World travel.
Even in April, I was in about 18 cities. I took 18 flights, maybe about 9 cities in the month of April. I was all over the country, all over the world in April, right? So I've been a lot. I like the way the UAE treat their citizens, free education, the best of the best. I think it's the best country if you're born a citizen there. But the greatest is America, right? In America, the poor there are a lot of poor people here. But many times when you look at it, you're like, but why? When there's so much opportunity here, right? And there's so much way to get by. For example, the poor gets food stamp, they get financial aid in school. They get different grants. They get SSA, SSI, Medicare, Medicaid. But in Africa, the poor get nothing.
Nothing at all.
So can you imagine being poor and there's no food stamp, no financial aid, no SSI, no grants, no charity organizations helping people. So people really starve, suffer, and they die. And that's what a lot of people don't know. Recently, I just adopted a school in Nigeria. When I adopted the school, the teachers, they were being paid average $13 a month.
Whoa.
And yet they were not getting their salary consistently from the government.
Wow.
So now we took them to like $13 to about $50 a month. And that's still a lot of money. When I go, I usually have security soldiers. The soldiers, they get paid $40 a month. Not a day, not a week, a month. And yet they still don't get paid consistently by the government. So we're really doing a great work in Africa. We're helping hundreds of kids, hundreds of people, and just trying to make people's life better. So just giving back, because that's where I came from.
I love that. Could you expand on that a little bit more? What are you doing for the children, when you say you help back home?
Yeah, so we have about 300 children right now that I adopted. So I gave them free education. I pay their parents. I pay the teachers. And I also help a lot of young people to start different businesses, So, because that's why you see there's a lot of Nigerian scammers because things are so hard over there. So the young men feel like the only way to survive is to scam online. And the young women feel like the only way to survive is prostitution.
Yeah, right.
So when I go like 2-3 times a year. I do free entrepreneurship conferences. I try to find the best of them that are really ready to do something with their lives. So I invest in their business, no equity, just give them money, training, mentorship to help them to start businesses. So that's kind of what I'm really focused on now, because just giving people money, food doesn't really go a long way. But now every month I get like 10 people and just give them money to start a business and also to just mentor them. Because when one person is financially stable, it feeds, because Africa is a community, cluster, tribal culture. One person is established, it feeds like 5 people. So literally hundreds of people have been affected or impacted.
Now, so how do you make that decision? Do you study the kid, you get to know them, or how do you make the decision to help them out?
Yeah, very good question. So I have a foundation back home and I have a team that does a lot of sourcing. But if a child comes or we hear of a child or they look us, a parent get up to me on Instagram and say, my child want to go to school, is dropped out of school, I've never ever turned the child down. Right? When I go back home, when I do programs, people bring their children, I always accept them. I've never turned a child down because every child deserves free education, at least some good education and food, right? Ice cream. So I try to make that happen for them. Now for the adults, I usually have a little screening process because adults sometimes they're not always serious with their lives, right? If you've had opportunities to do better and you're not doing better, I just feel like whatever impact I make might not go a long way. So try to vet the adults a little bit, make sure, okay, do you have a skill or are you serious about getting a skill? So we can fund that skill for you. So we can give you money to launch a business or laptops. I take every time I go, I take about 20 to 30 laptops, cost thousands of dollars to give the young people to learn digital skills. You can be a VA, you can be a content writer. You don't have to always be trying to scam Americans.
Yes.
You can help Americans by, providing services for them. So that's kind of what we do. So I'm really, really big on philanthropy right now, more than ever before. Yeah.
Okay. What's the name of your foundation?
It's named after me. It's Uyi Abraham Foundation.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll definitely make sure to blow it up.
Yeah,
close to podcast. Yeah.
This year alone, we're spending $50,000
Wow.
in Africa.
Just on funding the foundation.
The foundation, $50,000. Yeah.
How did you get? Because you mentioned at the start of the podcast that initially that you were on that med school track.
Yeah.
And then you switched over to entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
What was that transition like for you? Was it just kind of like a spur of the moment? Is something you thought about a lot?
It was very hard. I've always loved to help people. So I felt like being a doctor, I wanted to be a gynecologist, that was going to be a way of helping people feel better, get well. But then I also noticed too that I also wanted to be a doctor too, as a way of escaping poverty. My grandma was always, because in Nigeria, if you're not a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, you're considered a failure. You know, because those are the only kind of promising jobs, lucrative jobs back home, you know. So my grandma family really put it on my head to be a medical doctor, because that would be a way to have financial stability for myself and for the family. When I came to America, I just, you know, began to feel like it wasn't just my passion anymore, that ministry and entrepreneurship was my true calling. And it caused a lot of raffles or rips between me and my family, you know, to the point that my dad kicked me out 6 months after I came to America.
Wow.
Because he's invested so much money into my education. And now I'm like, I don't want to do medical school anymore. So to an African parent, that's like you brought shame to them and to the family, you know. So I was homeless. I was sleeping in friends' houses, couches, sleeping in my car in gas stations. I was able to afford a $600 car that would overheat every day. I had to literally annoy that car with oil, and I have to baptize it with water. Literally, because that car will overheat, so I have to pull over. I have to always have gallons of water. So nobody that got to cool it down, got to baptize with water. They want to leak oil, so I have to anoint it with oil every single day. You know, I sleep in that car, you know, working jobs. First job, I was working at the movie theater, making $6 an hour. And things were really, really hard and tough. I got married. When I met my wife, I told her, but it's always good to have a dream. And I always tell people, you know, don't dream based on your bank account. Dream based on the vision in your heart. One of the things that my grandma really did for me was to instill in me books and reading and exposure. So I always was thinking bigger than where I was at that particular time.
You always dreamed.
I was always dreaming. I told her I was going to be a millionaire. I told her I was going to retire her. I told her that I'm going to make her a millionaire. And I had a 1-bedroom apartment, $440 a month. I was struggling to pay the rent. And I had the audacity to tell her I was going to make her
audacity.
You know, I had no bed. I was sleeping on a futon. You know?
Yeah.
You guys
come on,
wealthy niggas. You don't know what futon is.
I got one right now.
Tell me, you got.
It's a step up from an air mattress.
Exactly. Your first time, when you have guests, you have kind of have a couch.
Yes.
Then when you leave, it becomes a bed. You know,
pull out.
Wow.
Yeah, I was so poor and broke, you know. When we got married, this was a very interesting story, and that's why I'm also big on this as well. You know, I don't know what's happened with women nowadays, especially this TikTok generation, Instagram generation, you know, where they want a ready-made man that got the 666, you know, 6-pack, 6 figures, 6 feet tall. Come on. You know, I'm like, that's how I used to be. Growing up, women used to want to find a man with a vision, with a dream that was hardworking, had a job or something was doing to build with. Now they just want a man that's already established and got a 66. When I met my wife, I had nothing. In fact, our wedding, we couldn't even afford it. Our mom sponsored the wedding, and we bought our wedding dress for $50 on eBay.
Wow.
And spent $25 to dry clean it, you know? So we started from zero. And she still said, I do. Yeah. Nowadays, you can tell, I'm going to get your wedding dress from a thrift store and spend $25 to be like, what? You're not ready for me. Da, you know?
Yeah.
But she was like, yeah, I know going somewhere.
I wish she was here, man, because I just want to know her mindset. Like, you know, because like you said, you know, most women, especially established women, they want a certain type of guy, you know, with certain type of financing and all of that. Like, I just want to know her mindset when you sit up here looking at you and you talk about your dreams. Like, you don't have any of that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But she did say she saw my work ethic too. That wasn't just talking. I was doing. I was trying to make it happen, you know. So that gave her the confidence. So we really started with nothing to now. I mean, we make millions of dollars a year online. So
that's what I was going to ask you about. Did you bring her into the business once you kind of became a family, or was it kind of like, hey? because you said you're going to retire her.
Yeah.
That made it sound like I'm going to do all the work. You just sit there, be pretty. Or was it like, hey, this is a partnership now?
Yes. It's definitely a partnership because she's also very driven and ambitious, right? She's not one that want to sit at home all day, do nothing.
Right.
But I think 2010 was the last time she worked. She worked a job. So I was able to retire from working a job. So right now she just, she's married to me. That's a full-time job.
You got to live with me.
Yeah, that's a full-time job because I'm always having these ideas, dreams, somebody to, I always joke and tell her if she ever had to bill me for consulting or coaching,
Yes.
she will be so much more richer because I'm always like, what do you think about it? So we work together now. But I was able to retire from a job, that'll be 14 years now.
Yeah.
I worked a job for 14 years.
And that's every entrepreneur's dream, I would say, is to be able to say, hey, I work on my time now. I don't need that 9 to 5.
Exactly.
What was that feeling like for y'all when she was able to just say, goodbye to that job?
Very awesome.
Yeah.
Because she was also struggling at jobs too. I think her last job, she was fired before the last one. I just didn't like that feeling, for your wife to come home crying that she was fired at her job. And that's where I'm like, okay, just see if you can get one more job, but I'm going to get her out of this job as quickly as possible. And that's what I did. I just love now that she's able to sleep in when she wants to. She can travel when she wants to. My wife, not only does she not pay any single bill, she got like 4 credit cards with no limits on it. She can spend whatever she want to do whatever she want to do, and everything is taken care of. But I just like that I'm able to provide that for her because she married me when I had nothing. Mm-hmm. She was the one working. She was the one paying the mortgage. She was the one paying the bills. She never was like, you're not bringing in money. You're not buying me no Chanel bags like my friends. You're not taking me. She never asked me for anything she knew I couldn't provide. She never tried to compare me with another man. She never said my friends are having designer bags. You got to buy me a bag. She never tried to take me to a restaurant that I couldn't afford because I was dating a girl at one time. I remember she took me to a restaurant. I don't know why women do that. One of the ladies. Today I still don't like Olive Garden. And I don't get Olive Garden is best place though.
Right.
But when you making $6 an hour,
right,
and you trying to take her on a date, and then she order a lobster and shrimp for like $22, and then order for 2 kisses where that were not there, and that set me back like $75 when I was making $6 an hour. I was like, no, she's not getting a second date.
Right.
Now, breadsticks. Now you mentioned you had a vision, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of entrepreneurs, they know they want to do something. They go through a lot of seasons where let me try this, let me try that, let me try this, let me try that. Like in our field, we know comedy is our thing.
Yeah.
Pursuing that. We know exactly where we're going, right? Yeah. And did you know exactly what you wanted to do? Or it was just like, I know I want to be an entrepreneur, but...
Very good question.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted financial freedom. That was it. And I knew that the way to do it was going to be through entrepreneurship. But how, I did not know at the time. And that's why I tell people, when it comes to entrepreneurship, you just got to start.
Okay.
Because what you start with is not always what you're going to end with. And if you never start, you will never get there. So I wanted financial freedom. So the first business I did was learning how to build websites. So I started building websites for people. From there, I learned photography. I learned videography. I started doing that. I owned a studio. And then I saw those businesses were very, very hard to scale. Now, a lot of photographers, videographers, they can make 6 figures now, because now you can have content creators you're going to work with. Back then, you didn't have that. So it was very, very hard from there. I've had multiple businesses, and I've failed in multiple businesses too. I've had a print shop, I've had a car dealership, I've had a restaurant, I've had a t-shirt line, all kind of different things. But around 2010 was when I saw the shift was online. I saw that online business was the easiest way to make $1 million. Online business was the easiest way to create financial freedom. All of my other businesses required me to be physically there for me to make money. I have to go for the restaurant to be open. I have to go open up the print shop. I have to deal with my, employees, customers. I have to go turn on the light. So I have to work with my labor before I eat or I make money. But I didn't want that lifestyle. I wanted to make money while I sleep. I want to make money while I traveled. I want to make money on my own time and schedule. I wanted to make money when I was doing nothing. So online was the only way to do it. So I started learning online businesses, and I started creating courses and coaching programs, teaching people what I was learning. And then this is kind of how Vonza started. So around 2019, I began to see that the online system, even though it was good, but was also broken in the sense that before you launch a business online, you needed multiple software to do it. You needed one that can do your email, one that can do your courses, one that can do your coaching. So I feel like everything was just all over the place, and I was just frustrated with tying all these tools together. So 2019, I was like, why is there not one really, really good all-in-one software to help any entrepreneur, especially beginners, to run their business online? So that's how the idea for Vonza came about. And we are the fastest, we are the largest, we are the best Black-owned, all-in-one software. So what Vonza does is an all-in-one software to run a business online. Whether you want to sell courses, coaching program, community, digital product, physical product, pretty much any kind of business you want to create or sell online, you can use Vonza to do that. And right now we have about 18,000 customers. We started from zero in 2020-ish, right? And our last valuation was that we had the valuation for $30 million. Then we had the offer for $100 million, but we turned it down because the goal is to sell it for $1 billion. And our passion is to get 1 million customers on Vonza. And 100,000 customers are already going to be at a $1 billion valuation. Then maybe I could sell at that point in about 5 years or so.
In about 5 years.
Yeah.
Wow. So how long Vonza been going?
Yeah,
strong?
we're about three to 4 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Oh,
Think about how short of a time period.
Yeah.
That's literally since the start of the pandemic.
Yes, I started the pandemic, and it just gives me so much joy because a lot of people are making income on Vonza. Financial freedom is really one of my calling to help people attain financial freedom. And just amazing from single moms making extra $1,000 a month, people paying for their wedding from income generating from their Vonza platform, people able to go on vacations, people retiring their moms, their spouses. I mean, just amazing.
I love that.
Yeah, the results we see with Vonza.
And is it because 18,000 customers, are they all U.S. based? Do you have international business too? Or do you have plans to expand it internationally?
Yeah, it's international, it's worldwide. Right now, we have customers in over 40 countries, and we're going to expand possibly this year to Africa because our customer base is usually in North America, Asia, Australia, New Zealand, Europe. But we don't have payment processing capabilities in Africa. I just had a call with my chief engineer this morning. So probably in about 2 or 3 months, we'll be able to start processing payments in Africa. Then that will bring a huge avalanche new market, to Vonza,
That's awesome. I'm just seeing it as a full circle moment for you, bring it back to Nigeria.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Next, because you already do the foundation. So now imagine Vonza doing business there alongside the foundation. I just feel like, I don't know. It's very cool what you're doing. It's very cool.
Yeah. So you definitely believe in streams of income, right?
Yeah.
That's your thing?
Definitely. But it's always good to start with one stream of income.
Okay.
Like what I teach my students and my clients, one stream of income until you hit $1 million. But if you don't have the confidence to hit $1 million, the bare minimum is $100,000. Because see, one of the reasons why people fail in life is distraction. It's never a lack of talent. It's never a lack of gifts. It's always distraction. Then the second biggest reason is fear. People are so scared of the unknown, right? So distraction is a big problem in our culture today. People try to do multiple things. They sell T-shirts, they do podcasts, they do courses, they work in a job, they all over the place. It doesn't work like that. It's good to focus on one income stream. Then when you hit at least 6 figures, then you might add a second one. But if you can hit 6 figures with one income stream, nothing stopping you from taking that same one income stream to 7 figures.
Yeah.
Then you can now diversify.
You can double down, yeah.
So that's what I do. Because, when I was growing up in Africa, I learned this principle by chasing rabbits, Have you ever eaten a rabbit before?
Why are you looking at me?
Christian, have you eaten a rabbit before? Have you eaten a rabbit? Have you barbecued a rabbit before? It's very decent. It's very nice. It's just like chicken.
No, I heard it was good.
You remember? I used to try one.
No, serious.
Yeah, not a rat, a rabbit.
Yeah.
So,
I'm definitely.
yeah. So when we were young, we used to go to the farm to hunt for rabbits to barbecue. So I learned that principle. Because rabbits, when they see humans coming, they run. They always have rabbit holes. That's how you know it's a rabbit, because there's a rabbit hole. And then the only way to get them out, you have to use smoke. So we get some sticks and some leaves, we burn it and put smoke inside to the hole so they run out. So one day I remember very, very vividly, we're trying to chase the rabbits, we put smoke, and 3 rabbits ran out at the same time. And we were not skilled in rabbit chasing, so we started running after all 3, and guess what? We lost all of them.
Wow.
So I learned that lesson. So next time we went back there, instead of chasing after all 3 rabbits, we focus on one rabbit at a time. And that's how we got them. So the same principle in entrepreneurship. You focus on one, right? You solve a problem. For me, I knew a lot of people needed financial freedom, and that's my niche. The 3 biggest niches: health, wealth, and relationship, right? So my niche is wealth, helping people create financial wealth, generational wealth. That's my niche, right? I talk about relationship a little bit because I'm also passionate about that, but mostly wealth, right? Stick to one thing until you cross 6 figures, then you may diversify at that point.
Jeez. Okay. How do you sign up?
So here's the best thing though. I don't know when this is going to air, but honest to God, next week. Okay, honest to God, this is, if you do put clips on Reels or whatever, this will be a clip. This is going to be the very first time that I'm releasing this new offer we're doing. Because here's the problem. When we founded Vonza, we get a lot of Black and brown entrepreneurs. We saw that a lot of them were not making money online, partly because they didn't know how to create a digital product to sell. It takes a long time and expertise to create a course or an ebook. They didn't know how to create it. Even those who created it, they didn't know how to sell it. So we decided to solve that problem. So my wife and I and our team, we just created what we call the New Rich. The New Rich is a community for digital entrepreneurs, whereby we do 2 things. We created a course that anybody can buy and resell as their own and keep 100% profit. So instead of sitting right there and say, I want to be a digital entrepreneur, I want to make money online, but I don't know where to start, I don't know what to offer, you don't have to. Our course will teach you everything you need to learn about digital marketing, and you can also resell that course as your own and keep 100% profit. I will make it so affordable that the course is only $497. So literally, you can start your online business for only $497. We even made it better because some of our people don't have a lot of expendable income, so there's no excuse whatsoever. We've made it better. Not only can you pay $497, if money is so low, you can pay 3 payments of, I think, $179 a month over 3 months. So there is no excuse right now for anyone not to be a part of the new digital gold mine. There used to be the gold rush. There used to be the oil rush, if you know about oil. Right now is a digital rush. Digital product is estimated to be $1 trillion by 2028. It's right now over $350 billion a year. That means people, online education, online business, the digital marketing space is growing rapidly. People want to get better in their health, in their finances, in their marriage. People want to learn how to start a podcast. People want to learn how to do comedy. I was watching a YouTube show the other day, and I saw one of my favorite speakers said one of the way you learn how to speak is to study comedians, right? People want to learn what you do, how you do what you do, right? And that's where the money is. The money is not in the doing. The money is in the teaching, right? Doing is the lowest form of value, right? That is why the cleaners at the hotel, they make the least amount of money because they are working with their labor. They are doing, they are doers. But the thinkers and the speakers and the communicators, the boss, the CEO, the founder of the hotel, they make the most money. Mm-hmm. But in our culture, we are told to go to school, get a good job, and do, and be an employee. Laboring is about laboring, right? Physical labor. And that's why there's so much poverty in our culture compared to other culture where they train to on the job, on the business, or do some form of online stuff, right? So this is the very first time we're announcing it because we're not formally announced it yet. I'm going to announce it on my birthday coming up soon. So if you're watching this podcast, so go to newrichcommunity.com and take advantage of this offer. You can learn digital marketing and resell the course as your own if you want to and keep 100% profit, So
what was the website one more time?
newrichcommunity.com. New Rich Community, because the program is called the New Rich. So it's newrichcommunity.com. So this is dope. And I mean, we're going to make our vision for the New Rich is to help 1,000 people make $1 million online. So it's really, really huge. So the course have over 175 modules. So it's a big course. Like, it's not like those people like, I buy course, it wasn't good. No, this is good. It's like 20 years of experience from, driving a Joe Metro and multiple Rolls Royces. Wealth, real wealth, what we've learned, put it together in a course for only $497.
Like a master
New Rich
Community.
New Rich Community. So, welcome to Kuttin Loose. This is brought to you by New Rich Community.
Come on.
Yeah.
Let them know, Jeffrey. Let them know. Also, happy early birthday, man.
Thanks.
So you got a birthday coming up.
When's your birthday?
May 18.
May 18. Oh.
Yeah, and I'll be in Nigeria. I'm going to be feeding. You guys should see on my stories. You guys should on my wall anyway. I'm going to post again. I'm feeding 500 people on my birthday in Nigeria.
Oh, wow. I love that. What's your Instagram again?
It's at Uyi Abraham.
Uyi Abraham.
UYI Abraham, yeah.
Yeah.
I
love that.
I'm definitely check that out.
I have you on Instagram. I'm just letting them know where to find you.
Yeah, I follow you, man. I'm paying attention, brother.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm paying attention. And also, are you going to feed somebody in America?
Yes, we're going to do that too.
Let me know. I'm hungry.
Oh, not you, though. Not you. You're doing good, Jeffrey.
I saw that joke from a mile away.
Look at the Apple Watch. Look at the Apple Watch. Look at those kids now. No. Not you.
Come on, man.
I thought you were talking about people really going through. Not you.
No.
You look okay. You look like you're doing good. You blessed.
God take
you got $400 on your wrist.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. that would pay somebody's whole salary for a year in Nigeria. What you have on your head right there?
Hey, seriously, would you give a homeless person money if they have an Apple Watch?
Hell no. I put that on eBay, sir. You know what's funny too? We went to do a show in Chattanooga not too long ago.
Yeah.
And this man forgot his Apple Watch in my car. And then the next day he hit me up talking about, did you see my watch? I said, no, I didn't see no watch. That's my watch now.
But take my
I was ready.
Come on now.
Are they coming?
Shout out to Kristen, the producer extraordinaire over there, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Kristen.
For the ones and twos. Kristen in the building. Yeah, man, but you do a lot of great things, man. I appreciate it. You on the ones and twos. I got you, bro. I got you. You want to be known now. Okay, all right. Yeah, man. So the Vaza.com. So what would you say to the ones that be like, okay, I'm looking online. This Vaza.com, it don't look legit. What would you say to them?
It looks legit.
No.
But some people, I know. There's always gonna be haters and stuff.
You already know.
Yeah,
right.
It's very legit, I mean, we have a 14-day free trial, for example. Anybody can try it for free and see if they like it or not. Usually when it's black owned or it's Nigerian, people always have that extra scrutiny because they feel like, there's something bad. I think there's a guest or something.
Oh yeah. That's one of our guys.
Okay. So they feel like when there's when it's black owned or Nigerian, they always feel like maybe there's something fishy about it, but it's not so fishy about it.
Right.
I mean, we have over 20,000 customers, so
20,000
and growing every day because the software, to be the business online here.
Yeah.
And people can look up reviews and stuff like that, right? You've had customers for it,
definitely.
Yeah, you definitely one that I'm still studying, learning more about.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, man, we gotta have this guy, on the podcast before the valuation get to $1 billion. We won't be able to get to you then.
Right.
We got to go through security. Like even coming here, your security just even French can be at the door, man. I'm like, man, what's going on? I know him, you know what I mean? What up, Will Palomino?
What's up, Will?
Yes, sir. So
I was gonna ask you too, because you said you've tried so many different businesses, you've had your hands at so many different things. What was the moment that you knew, like, hey, Vonza is the one, or like, this is the one I gotta go full, What was that moment for you?
Good question. So the thing was, which one will have the biggest impact and which one will bring me the greatest wealth? Towards Vonza. And I did not follow the advice I gave you guys earlier. I didn't follow it, or I didn't always follow it, and it cost me a lot of money too, right? Which was sticking with one thing, because Vonza could have been even 4 or 5 times bigger if I was more focused on it, because I was still focused on my multiple other businesses I was doing. But Vonza is the only business I have that I can sell for hundreds of millions or billions of dollars. So it just made sense to focus on that, right? So I tell people too, when you're starting a business, especially when you're young and you have time, start a business that is the most scalable, that can be the biggest. Don't solve a small problem. There's a story in the Bible about David. When he slew the lion and the bear, he was a king in his father's house.
That's right.
But when he slew Goliath, he became the king of all of Israel because he solved a big problem, right? I'm not a fan of people just wanting to sell a t-shirt if that's what they want to do, just to make $500 a month, right? I'm like, that same time you can solve a small problem, you can solve a much bigger problem. So I love when people think big. I love when people try great things, Like, I want to own a bank one day. I have a university now. I have a software. I want to own a bank. Why not? Right? And do it differently, right? So I love to inspire people to think big. Don't settle. Don't be comfortable with where you are. So Vonza is a very big idea. I mean, Shopify, one of our competitors, they are like, I don't know, over $100 billion in valuation, right?
Right.
So why can't Vonza be that big?
Right.
Or even bigger? So those people have set the path to let us know that it's possible for this thing to be really big. So, and that's why we created the course too, because one, we help more people start their businesses on Vonza, because when they come like, I don't have a course, I don't know what to sell, then they leave. So now Vonza becomes more sticky because you don't have to create a course. We already created a course for you that will teach you digital marketing, and also to a course that you can sell as your own.
Right.
So now when when this is released, the New Rich company is going to blow up Vonza even much bigger, because now anybody, even Christian, can make money online because can just resell the course. He doesn't have to create his own course.
You're impressing, come on, Christian, let them know.
Let them know, Chris. That's right. Chris is still learning English too, man. So that's all he knows is that's right. Now, with the name Vonza, what is the meaning? Because you're big on names, meanings. What is the meaning of Vonza?
Yeah, this was one name that God gave to me.
Okay.
All of my other names I had to kind of think about for my businesses, kind of consult with people. This one, there was no consultation. When Vonza first started, it was a different name that we were calling it. but I just didn't, that name did not just sit right with my spirit. You know, there's this thing called entrepreneurial instincts. As an entrepreneur, you just have this instinct. You don't, it's like, I think we should switch to this word, do this. Then, oh my God, that was what we need to do. So I just never really felt comfortable without the name. The one that literally was just laying on my bed, I just prayed, I said, God, just give me a name. Maybe about 2 or 3 hours, I couldn't sleep. My mind was wrestling about so many different things. And I just heard Vonza. I don't know what that meant. I don't know what is what. I just heard Vonza. I was like, okay. The test was if I could buy the .com name. I needed .com. So I went to GoDaddy and I saw that somebody else already had Vonza.com. But the good thing was that it was for sale. And they wanted like thousands of dollars for it. And that same night, because that's one thing about successful people, there's something called the speed of execution. Successful people, when they see opportunities, they move fast. They don't overthink it. They don't have to pray to Jesus or talk to somebody about it. So I had to move fast. So that same night, I went on GoDaddy, called my GoDaddy concierge, and then I just give them an American Express card, and I paid thousands of dollars for the domain name.
For a name you didn't even know what it meant. You just it came to you.
Because I heard Vonza.
Yeah.
And it was available for sale. And I like short domain names too. It's 5-letter words. It's easy to remember and it sounds fun instead of the name I had before, which was Teach Slate. You see, you asked on your place. You didn't like it, right?
I like that.
I had Teach Slate because I wanted to create a platform where people can teach and make money online. So Teach Slate, I didn't feel it, but compare that to Vonza.
Vonza makes me sound like I want to buy some.
Exactly.
Vonza, you know?
Exactly. That's what I paid.
Okay.
That's why I paid 5 figures for that domain name.
You watched football growing up? Soccer?
Soccer.
Yeah?
Soccer.
Who was your favorite team?
Nigeria.
The reason I asked
If he always asking about soccer, man.
growing up in Africa,
Yeah.
a lot of people were either Manchester United fans,
Okay.
Arsenal fans, or
Yes.
Chelsea.
Yeah. Country, Nigeria.
Of course.
But soccer, I like Man United. Manchester United. Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Hey, that's my team too.
Yeah. I like Manchester United.
Come on.
I like Manchester United.
Clips that. That's our next TikTok right there.
Yeah, you know, what's his name? Jeff Bezos. Before Amazon, he named it Abra something.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So I like to hear about the success names because Vonza definitely.
Yeah.
It's a unique name. It's different. But that teach stuff you said, what you said, teach.com.
See, you didn't remember. See, this slip. This is not memorable. That's another reason why.
God only give you that name.
You know what Teach Slate. See, it's hard to pronounce. Yeah, names matter, you know, and as an entrepreneur, you always have to reinvent yourself, always thinking, how can I solve my customer problems? How can I help them better? Like, okay, we see many of them, they don't know how to create a course.
Yeah.
They don't create one for them to resell. Always thinking of how we can serve people better. Because that's where the money is in helping, is in serving people. When you serve your customers, they pay you money.
Right.
But a lot of people, they solve small problems, so they get paid small money. But when you solve a bigger problem, you get paid big money, right? So, yeah, that's just how money works. Money is the easiest thing to make.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't have the skills or the wherewithal to make it. Environment. Can I just share one more dope thing that really helped me to changing environment? When we moved to Atlanta, we're living in Forest Park. God bless Forest Park. If you don't know about Forest Park, it's wow. It's outside as one of the poorest cities in all of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So we're living in Forest Park. Things were hard. And my wife kept just pressuring me that we should move to Alpharetta. And I was like, it's too expensive. We can't afford it, whatever. Then she tricked me because she used this children's schooling to kind of trick me to do it. But when we moved to Alpharetta, our income just went crazy because environment matters. If you're in a place where people are sagging their jeans, where people don't want to work, it conditions your brain and your mind that is normal. If you're in an environment where people are always struggling, it conditions your brain to be struggling.
Right.
If an environment where people are just working at McDonald's and Burger King, nothing wrong with that, but that's their aspiration in life. It conditions your mind to be like that. They said you are the average of the 5 people you spend time with, but I also would say you are the average of the 5 people you see every day.
Yeah.
Right? So environment, but when we move to an environment whereby people drive Porsches and Mercedes and they have millions of dollars, it conditions your mind too that is possible and for you to go get it, right?
Yeah.
You've seen it. Now it's reality to you, right? Environments matter. So those of you watching the show, you don't have to move physically, but you got to go to events, go to masterminds, invest in coaching programs, invest in courses, invest in things that will shift your mindset, because the mind is a muscle. When it shifts, it can never go back to the original state, right? When you shift your mindset, when you shift what is possible, when you shift your believability, when you believe in yourself, it's just a matter of time for what you believe to manifest around you, right? I used to do some crazy stuff. I used to go to Rolls Royce dealership, and they wouldn't even let me come close enough to touch it because I didn't look like I could afford it. Because, you know, a little scratching it is thousands of dollars. I used to go there. I used to go to houses that I could not afford. I was just doing the things, crazy things my mentors were telling me to do. You know, like shift yourself, put yourself in that environment, put yourself there until you become there.
Yeah.
That was dope. Let me say one more time. Put yourself there until you become there. Right? When we couldn't afford living in Alpharetta, we used to do staycations in Alpharetta. We'll just come, we'll get the cheapest hotel we can find in Alpharetta. My wife and my kids will stay for 2 nights every week on a weekend. We'll just come, we'll drive around, we look at the nice houses. But I kept telling myself I couldn't afford it, but at least I was there. Eventually, you become your environment. Eventually, you become like where you are.
Yeah.
I talk with an accent. He doesn't talk with an accent, but we are both Africans. Why?
He do talk.
Maybe not today. He's hiding it today. Yeah, okay, all right. He's faking it. He's faking it today. Right.
So when we get out of here, yeah, that would go eat.
Stop. He's canceled, all right? You know, all right? And you can apply to the country podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, but you see what I was saying, though?
Yeah.
But my accent is a lot thicker, though. Right? Why? Because my environment, I was born with people talk like this.
Right.
So my tongue, really my brain has programmed my tongue possibly forever to talk like this. But another African child born in America or Japan or whatever, their brain programs their tongue to talk like that.
100%.
So you see how powerful environments are? That an environment can program a person for a lifetime. A lifetime. So that was one of the biggest things that I've learned about success.
And I like the fact that you said you went to a Rolls Royce dealership, right?
Yeah.
And then you driving a Rolls Royce.
Yes.
This time, two.
Yeah. One for my wife.
So you were manifesting at the time.
Yeah.
Before you even knew you could have.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The same thing with Bentleys too. Same thing with Bentleys. I went to look at a couple of Bentley dealerships before I could afford it. Then I bought 2 Bentleys before I now switched to Rolls Royces.
Now, do you mind leaving one of them behind? I need a ride home.
Yeah, they ride pretty good. And you just feel good. People treat you well. You know, even cops. Really back to you. You get to the stop sign. The other person have the right of way, but they wave on you to go.
Yeah,
honestly.
People open doors.
That's funny.
It lights up at night. It's really cool.
I know.
On the inside, yeah.
What about the lady? What did you get her?
I got the Rolls Royce.
Oh, that's for her too.
Yeah, for my wife.
His and hers. I love it. Do y'all ever go on rides together where you drive one, she drives?
Yeah, we do that. We do that sometime. You know. And let me tell you how powerful this is, guys. This is so good. I don't know if you guys are getting something from our conversation.
Come on.
Exposure is key. Oh, when you see something that is possible for you, no one can ever take it away from you. And this is what car dealerships do well. That is, they test drive a car. Because when you test drive a car, they know you get emotionally tied to your experiences. Let me say that again. We all get emotionally tied to our experiences. If your experiences is poverty and lack, and the most in your account is $10,000, you are emotionally tied to that. And your mind is programmed to that level of possibility for your life. You have to shift that. You have a ceiling. You have to shift that. You have to shift that. No one can do that for you. So one of the good things about being rich, I have private bankers. I used to go to banks when I was broke in Forest Park. I remember one time my bank account was negative, and I spent an hour arguing with the bank manager, begging her to please, can you refund that $35 back to my bank account so that it's not negative? So I put it back to the bank. The bank manager, when she sees me coming, she runs to the restroom because she's like, I don't know what's coming to beg for today. I'm dealing with this today. So from there to now, when you're rich now, the banks are banquet. I have my own private bankers. I'm doing lunch after this. That's after stop in about 10 minutes. With one of my private bankers, Atlanta United gets suites, and they give you private jets. So much stuff that comes with a different level of living. But where I'm going with this is that one of my private bankers told me recently, I say, hey, there's a Ferrari showcase coming. I want to see if you and your wife can go and just test drive it, the new Ferraris and stuff, right? I know what Ferraris, there's different levels to these things, guys. There's a level of income you get to. You don't need to go to no Ferrari dealership. They bring Ferrari to your house to test drive.
Not the hand delivery.
I'll tell you, they have exclusive event in a mansion. So Ferrari rented a multi-million-dollar mansion in Milton, right? Milton, back Florida, And they brought other Ferrari, owners, and they had 2 days. It was a party, food, live music, everything. And I never thought I was a sports guy person, but when I met other Ferrari owners, and I test drove a Ferrari, I formed a new experience with that thing. I said, man, I'm going to get me Ferrari.
I already know.
I'm going to get me Ferrari.
Yeah.
So test drive stuff, expose yourself. Like, when was the last time you spoke to a millionaire? When was the last time you touched a millionaire? When was the last time you went to events of where there were people with more money than you? When was the last time you shook their hands? When was the last time you were just in their presence?
Yeah.
When was the last time you just heard them talk, and then your mind is going? I was in a private meeting a few days ago with my wife. One of my friends had a little get-together, and he had a problem. What was the problem? It's like, man, I don't know what's going on. Q1 of 2024. He showed us his statement. He paid $1.5 million quarterly tax to the IRS.
Yeah.
His net income was over $7 million in just Q1 online. He does online business too in Q1 of 2024. You in that meeting, she's like, I'm trying to make $1 million a year, and this brother just paid the IRS $1.5 million for 3 months of profit in taxes. Wow. That shifts your brain to say, okay, $1 million ain't big no more.
Right.
Maybe I need to level up my game. I thought I had to make $100,000. That's nothing. I was like, this guy makes in a day. Yeah. Right?
It's like you're shifting your mindset.
Mindset. It's like now you feel like, okay, now I have permission to make that happen for myself, right? So is anything that anybody got from this podcast today, other than all the great stuff, is you got to think bigger. You have to put yourself in those rooms, listen to this podcast and other podcasts like this that will shift your mindset. You have to make it possible.
That's right.
Then last tip I'm going to share is that you got to solve a problem. And solve a problem for people who can pay you what you deserve. Solve a problem. Vonza was to solve a problem for entrepreneurs, making it easy for them to start their business online. And now we see that many of them, they have another problem. What's the problem? They don't know how to create their own course. So now we solve that problem. And this course we want to do $1 million in 6 months when we find out when this course is out, right? Because millions of people, they need a course to sell.
Looking for it.
They're looking for a course to sell. They don't know how to create one, or they want to learn how to create one themselves, right? So the market is huge. So now we solve that problem now. The goal is $1 million in less than 6 months just from this course sales alone. So it's easy to make money. You got to work on your mindset, find a problem to solve, be good at it, focus on it until 100,000 minimally before you think of adding a second stream of income, right? Possibly scale it from 100 to $1 million before you add multiple streams of income. That's the fastest way to wealth.
Man, that's good. Come on, man. Standing ovation.
Let him cook, bro. Let him cook.
We know you got to go, man.
Thank you, stay around.
Now, one more thing. So now you hanging around billionaires now.
Yeah.
'Cause you done passed the multi-million-dollar stage. You hanging around billionaires.
Yeah.
What that conversation like, bro?
Who's the next president? No. What is that?
Yeah.
I know.
I just ask questions.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I go to masterminds with billionaires too, because when I wanted to be a millionaire, I hung out with millionaires.
Yes,
right.
I felt inferior around them, but I got enough where I became comfortable. Emotionally, I got comfortable. So now I intentionally spend a lot of money to go to events about maybe it's a billionaire speaking.
Yeah.
Or I pay VIP where there's meet and greet. I just ask questions.
Right.
How did you overcome the
open
fear?
mind.
How did you grow? How did you hire people? What were you looking for? You know, what would you do if you were to start all over again? What would you do differently, right? And I shake their hands because I'm a Christian. I believe in the principle of proximity. You are your environment.
Yeah.
You are what you can touch. I have developed my personal faith enough that if I can touch it, if I can seal it, if I can feel it, I can have it. So when I
Can you say that one more time? I'm sorry.
if I can touch it, if I can feel it, if I can see it, I can have it.
Yeah.
So if anything I want, that's the three things I do. So I want to be a billionaire, I have to touch one, I have to feel one, I have to see one up close. And if I can do it enough, then my brain programs to say, oh, that can be you. That
Conditions, yeah.
It conditions it to. It's not something so far out. Now it's like, oh, that's you. You've been around that. You know what that feels like now. So now you are that now, right? So that's what I do now. So I intentional, life is about intentions. I intentionally go to these meetings. I touch their hands. I shake their hands. I rub them. You might be like, oh, why is it touching that dude right there? I shake their hands. I'm like.
I know I'm going to ask you.
I'll touch your feet. I don't care. I'm tapping into that anointing. I'm tapping into something right there.
I'm going to see you online rubbing on it. Yeah, they're going to Abraham rubbing on that guy. I know what he's doing.
I'm touching him or her. I'm going to touch. At least I will shake your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we know what you're saying.
Yeah, I'll touch your clothes or something,
Not the Diddy effect.
Yeah,
Get
not
out of
the
here.
Diddy.
No Diddy. Because Diddy did a lot of touching the film.
And it's publicly too. Not behind the door.
We can edit this out. We have to keep this part. Man, no, we've learned a lot from you, man. It's been a pleasure talking to you, brother. And even what you're doing with the foundation, because a lot of these kids, they're now growing up with a role model. They're seeing someone who's done it, and they're learning from that. Because a lot of these kids, they grow up in these cycles of poverty. They're born into poverty. They don't know any better, and they grow into it. So then the next generation follows that same cycle.
Yeah.
So for you to kind of set this positive example here at home and where in Nigeria, amazing, man.
I mean, come up, multi-millionaire. Come on now.
You inspire us.
Coming from nothing. And what I like about you, too, I know you got to go. What I like about you, too, is your humility. You haven't forget where you come from. You explain it. Yeah. Some multimillionaires, they forget, they get into their houses, their cars, and they forget, man. But you, very low key.
And I'm going to be like this, bro. Because when you've been poor and now you're wealthy, you didn't do, I mean, you know what I'm saying? When you've been poor, really poor, and now you're wealthy, money doesn't make you better than anybody.
Still you.
Yeah.
You're still you.
Yeah.
You know, you just learn some things that a lot of people didn't learn.
Yeah.
And also to the favor of God.
Yeah.
I could not have done this all by myself.
Of course.
So
Of course.
there's no need to be braggadocious about
Right.
it. You get what I'm saying? I don't know why people feel like they treat people bad because they got more money than them. To me, that's crazy. You just got more money. You're not
That's
a
it.
better person.
Yeah.
I'm not a better person than anybody because I got more money than them. You know, I try to treat people good, man. Because everybody deserves to be treated well and loved and honored, you know?
Yeah, that's great.
And doing right by God.
Yeah.
We're talking about having that faith, and
Yeah.
faith does keep you grounded and it keeps you humble.
That's
so,
right. That's important.
Yeah.
That's important. All right, we know it's a busy man. Obviously, you know he got to get on his private plane and get up out of here. But yeah, come on,
Let's kick it into existence.
Come on.
That's the next level now.
come on. Now. So listen, we want to give a shout out to our other sponsor, champboxer.com. Go to champboxers.com. Listen, use promo code Kuttin Loose 1. You could get 25% off of your purchase. Please, as you support this podcast, man, and we looking for a future partnership, even with Vaza. We putting it online right now.
Let's do it, man.
Partnership with Vaza and the new Rich.
The New Rich Community, yeah. So go
Yes.
to newrichcommunity.com.
Yeah.
Newrichcommunity.com. Newrichcommunity.com.
We coming up together, man. We about to be up out of here. Shout out to Case Hand. You missed this opportunity, white boy. I was just playing. He's our other co-host.
We love you, Case.
Yeah, we love you, Case.
And your Instagram one more time.
It's Uyi Abraham. Uyi Abraham.
Uyi Abraham. And if you can spell
Abraham.
Uyi Abraham. And they should know how to spell Abraham,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If you don't, you shouldn't be on Instagram. Yeah. All right.
All right, man. We up out. Shout out to our super producer, Mr. Christian Gomez.
Love you,
Mr. President, a.k.a. And shout out to Will Palomino, our other producer.
Love you, Will.
Thank you, Will.
Frosty. He's not here, but he's doing his thing as well. He helped
Shout out,
us
Frosty.
get out this content. We appreciate everybody, man. Thank you. Next time for tuning in.
Got to lose, baby.
All right. And that's a wrap.